Welcome to the Educational Passport Foundation. With the support of Epf.Africa Youth Association and United Nations online volunteers, we have highlighted real stories regarding migration, education, poverty, and unemployment in the Republic of the Gambia. We invite you to watch and discover the current challenges and implications so that we can learn how to help solve them and support.
Welcome back to EPF Interviews. I'm Nabila and I'm a United Nations online volunteer.
And I'm Alaji from EPF. Thank you so much for joining us today.
So just to tell you a little bit about EPF, we are a registered non-profit charity foundation which aims to support the underprivileged youth in the Gambia. The Educational Passport Foundation, with the help of SEMUCA Youth Association of Zimbabwe and United Nations online volunteers, it aims to support the lesser privileged school dropouts and help them return back to school. Many young adults in these countries lack one of the fundamental human rights, which is access to quality education. And this is primarily because of a lack of financial assistance. So therefore, EPF has created this initiative to help these individuals achieve their goals and get back to school.
Thank you, Nabila. And we are excited today to host our next guest, Bakary Mankajang, a youth living in the Gambia. Bakary had to drop out of school due to being unable to afford its fees. Thank you so much for joining us today. We look forward to hearing about your experiences, Bakary.
I thank you very much, guys. Love to be here today as well. It is a pleasure to be here with you guys today. Well, my name is Bakary Mankajang, a Gambian by nationality. I'm working with DHQ Radio currently as a reporter.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
So you told us you're a young man living in the Gambia. So tell us about your life growing up in the Gambia. How was life growing up in the Gambia for you?
Yeah, it becomes so tough, life living in the Gambia, because when you see I come from a family that, my family is even living in the provinces, but I moved from there and I went to Serekunda to forward with my education. And at the end, I was the guy that was trying to pay for myself. But if you see sometimes, even the reporting that I'm doing, I get no money from it. I'm just trying to do it in order to have recommendation out of it. So on that regard, like the little money that I used to have before, because then I was not even doing nothing. It's just like going to school, and some weekends I try to do some little jobs. I can just say, in order to get some wages out of it, and that's what I gathered together in order to afford for my schooling. So right now it's like I'm going to work every day. I wake up from morning, like close like 4 o'clock in the evening, and it's like it's just volunteering in order to get recommendation out of it. So on that regard, it's like I'm not getting anything out of that. And it's like, man, stop going to school right now. So this is the problem that man is facing in the Gambia right now.
Wow, that's amazing. But you told us that you try a lot of things to be able to afford your own fees for you. Like you worked to basically provide your fees. So what kind of jobs that you used to do to be able to afford these fees, if you may?
Yeah, the kind of jobs I do is like, I think you guys know how we mold blocks in the Gambia. It's like, you go during weekends, go with people that they mold blocks, and you talk to them and you are like, hey, bro, when you're going tomorrow to mold blocks, I also want to be part of the contract. So maybe sometime when there are some Gambians living in diaspora trying to build houses over here, they send money to one of the guy living in the Gambia in order to be in charge of, molding the block. So we just tried as a team to reach out to those people and talk to them like, we want a mold block, and they will tell us like, this is the amount of bags that we have, maybe 100 bags. And we charge like each block is, we charge like for $5 is over here. Maybe within the team, when we are like 5 in number or 6 in number, we go and, we go ahead with that. So we try to, sometimes, we even don't go to school, because when it's like 100 bags, sometimes we work on, like it takes you sometime maybe a week before you complete that. And it's like, your guys have been going to school and you are still at home or you're still busy on your contract, before you get money out of that, it become a serious move. I can't just say I do mold block in order to get money out of that.
Wow, brother, that's amazing, man. Definitely want to give you, applaud you for that. That's so brave of you. That's so, you're such a strong guy to be able to, go your way to say, I don't have it, but it don't matter. Anyhow I can do whatever I can do to be able to afford my fees, I would do it. And it's a lot of those kind of jobs are frowned on. So many people, not to compare here, but so many people drop out of school, but and then they don't think that way to say, what, I have to save my life, I have to save my future, to do certain jobs, even though the society think those kind of jobs are not honorable, but I will still do it, to get what I want to get. And to me, that's the most, I don't know how to describe that, man. I just respect you, brother. There's no shame in it. There's just honor. It's just honor for you, my brother. There's no shame.
So, man, so.
You inspire me right now. And for sure, the reason why we're doing those kind of things, so that other people too can be inspired too. You will inspire a lot of young people who are coming up, to say, if my parents cannot afford it, yeah, be it. That's life. Things happen. But
bro. Yeah, bro. And it's like that was just the last thing, the time I was living in the villages, I guess, like we afford our own lunch from like going to booths, fetch your own firewood, go with a donkey cart, go to the nearest, big town, go and sell it over there. Then you use that for your daily lunches in school, Then those days is the time we were in at provinces because, like, as I told you, I come from a family that, we depend on farming, So it's like weekends, like Friday after school, you go tie your donkey car, go to the booths, try to fetch firewood. Then on Saturday, go and sell that to the nearest town, get your lunch out of that and to buy your own bag and books, So it's like education is something that man love. And this is why I try to do all those things, just to help the parents because it's like they can't do all that. So it's just recently I have some of the brothers living in Europe. And even that, is very, very difficult because they pass through the back way. And it's like they have too much of things to do. A lot of people are depending on them. So sometimes you ring them on a phone and like, I want to do this in school. And they're like, oh, brother, things are so tough. So it's just like we have to depend on molding the blocks and get something out of that. So this is all what we do, bro.
Yeah,
so this is how it started from the village. That's how it started, Go fetch firewood, go and sell it. Or sometimes we have a group over here. We go to other people's farm, weed for them, and they pay us. So after that, we go and share that, bro. Or have a full farm as a contract, weed the whole farm, and get something out of it. But give thanks now, people are recognizing me now to the DHQ radio, because wheresoever I have been to, when I tell them I'm Bakary, and they're like, oh, bro, you're doing a great work. So this is where we started it, from the provinces up to the town now.
Absolutely. And that's amazing. You're going to go far, brother, because you had that zeal. That's the epitome of like someone who is, destined for success because, if you are doing that at that young age, you were doing that at that young age, whatever opportunity comes to you right now is going to be a piece of cake for you. You're definitely going to do that right. Thank you so much for sharing that, bro.
Thank you, bro.
Yeah. So how does lack of educational opportunity affect the youth of the Gambia, including yourself? As we see, since you were young, you always, work hard to make sure to get that education. So lack of that opportunity to have an education, how does that affect the youth of the Gambia, including yourself?
Well, it affects them a lot because if you see some of the places like, I don't know whether you come from the Gambia, I don't know. But if you see some of
Gambian.
You're Gambia. I guess you had places like Kololi, places like Senegambia, places like Vigilo and other stuff, like when it is season time or even this time, like this evening, if you go around those ends, you see like a lot of drops out around that end that are drug addicted. And when they were having a good education, maybe they will also be like me today, busy going to work every day, trying to do something different from drug. So it's like, having, lack of education is something that is affecting the youths over here. because it is making, if you can even hear it from the Western Gambia and other places, all the time you had, some of the young youth that are almost 18 years old, 16 years old, trying to rob other people outside, and that lead to the death of those people. Other people break in and entering, and police arrest them. I guess when they were having, when they have access to education, such things like that will not happen in the Gambia. So lack of education over here is trying to motivate the young one to enter into something that is illegal, though.
Wow. Man, it's touching, knowing that the youth are going through all those things, and I totally agree with you. If they are hanging around doing nothing, absolutely they need to survive, and there is no means for them to survive. It will force them, to indulge in those kind of clandestine activities. So when we say education, it's not about the reason why we're trying to encourage everybody to get some kind of education. It's not always about having a job, but you said it. It's gonna make you think to say, I'm better than this. I love my community. I love my country. And through education, you can understand that how to be a good citizen. And then it's gonna, it will avoid a lot of things. Thank you.
And bro, like the fact still remain is like, if we check the background of all those youth that are living around the places that I've mentioned before, if we check their background, it's like, most of them are from a very poor background that, they can't afford their school, and they try to do some little jobs. And, like I have mentioned before, it's not every youth can continue with that. Even mowing block is something that is hard, bro. You go have this space, go, put the sand inside the wheelbarrow, keep pushing it continuously, even 2 days, 3 days, it affects your back, it affects your waist and other stuff. So it's not like, everybody can, continue doing that. So as that results, other people say, hey, now I'm just going to stop this because I cannot continue working, every time, having that little money, because sometimes the money that you get out of the contract, even, it cannot take you anywhere. You cannot even buy a good article out of that. You cannot buy anything out of that. And sometimes it's like when you come back, you have some brothers outside, and if you're seeing them beside you, they are not having nothing, and at least you're having $250 inside your pocket. You decided to give them $100, and you decided to give other people $50 to say, and you remain with nothing. So it is hard sometimes, other people decided to say, hey, it's better like I go and be a gangster, I go and rob outside, than doing this hard job, and at the end I have nothing out of it,
Yeah, I think like Alaji was saying, like it's actually commendable that the fact that you managed to, despite all the challenges that you face, you still managed to stay on the right path to some extent. And I mean, that just shows like how strong-headed you are. And unfortunately, some youth are not like that. It's very easy for them to run off track. And I think it's very sad that just because of financial issues, they can practically ruin their whole lives, because drug addiction, gang, things like that it's like it traps you for life. It's very, very difficult to get out of that cycle. So I think you're very right in saying that education can help solve a lot of these problems. And in your opinion, if you were to receive support for your education, how would you use that knowledge to give back to your home country?
Well, that would be so lovely, because it's like, as me being a journalist, that would be so easier for me, because I always sit at platform and talk to people. So having that support and having the knowledge, it's like it will be something important to me, because my country will really benefit from it. Because the work that I do is one of the hardest work, because I report news in Mandinka in the local language. He knows what Mandinka is. Maybe you don't know, but it's like the news used to be written in English. So you translate it from English, direct translation from English to Mandinka.
That's a whole lot of talent, bro.
Yeah, so that's what I do.
Yeah.
Full story from A to Z. You try to explain to other people that have not been to school, the old dads and the old daddies. Those are the guys that used to listen, and even the young ones, they love that, because other people are there. As I said, they are dropout, and they don't. And this is what the Englishman said. They say, like, if you speak to someone in his own language, he understands that than other language. So, like, when I'm saying it in Mandinka, other people, them understand it, like, when they are to read on their own, on the newspapers to understand it. So, me having the support, it will be a great thing for the Gambia itself.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I see just by the way that you answer that question, the way your face lit up, that you were so excited. Just by speaking about it, I just know that, you know, you're really destined for great things.
Absolutely.
All right. And if we speak a little bit about migration now, what, in your opinion, what do you think are the negative side effects of migration that could have an impact on the youth and the nation overall?
Well, migration is something that, you know, it affects a lot of the youth. If you see the Bagwe right now, we have too much of youth. Because recently, if we received messages that one of the vessel or one of the boat capsule over there, and it caused like 300 to 400, you know, youth that lost their life over there. So the migration, it have a good impact on some of the items that, you know, that have crossed in the Mediterranean Sea and entered to Italy. And so far, they're trying to help their parents and their families over here. Those people, well, at the positive side, they try, they try well for their family. Because if you see living with your parents over here, every day wake up with $0, the parents are trying to say, you know, and the parents are trying to do something in order to feed the family. And every day you are waking, seeing yourself in that situation, it have to hurt you to say, hey, I have to use the Bagwe to reach out to the foreign land in order to make something, because it's like, you know, what the concept that we, the African, have is like, we think like Europe is easier than here. And well, if you can even see, you know, in another way around, Europe is much more easier than the Africa, because food and shelter is something that is not expensive in Europe. And in Africa, food and shelter is something that is much more expensive. So this is what encourages the youth to use the Bagwe. But if you come to the negative part, it's something that is not, that, you know, that is really, really a problem, or it is something that is affecting even the country. Because when all the youths are leaving the country, using through the Bagwe and going to other countries, you know, in order to develop that country while leaving the elders in their country, that is something that will even affect the development of the nation. So I guess, when it comes to the migration side, this is something that is really affecting the youth, or this is something that is even a very, 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 very big thing, or a big issue, when it comes to the youth side.
Yeah, definitely. Because I mean, the youth are the ones who are the change makers for tomorrow. So they are the ones with their skills, their manpower, their knowledge. They are the ones going to be driving our nation forward, whichever nation it is. So if now we lose all our youth to another country, how our country is definitely going to suffer negatively. How would you say that, what have you learned from all these experiences? Like you were saying, the challenges that you face to try to get access to education and things like that. So what would you say you've learned from these experiences, and how have they shaped you to the person that you are today?
Well, I learned a lot of things out of it, because it made me to learn too much of things, because I never know how to mold block before. So through I can say through this hardship, I know how to mold block today. And I can say like, well, I learned a lot of things out of it. Mm-hmm. And like the other side that you say, what I would love to say about the young youths is like, they just need to try to be hardworking. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because in life, no condition is permanent. Other people see me yesterday, and today if they see me, they are like, bro, it's like you are trying to improve. So it's like we just need to try and tie the belt hard and believe this, like, this is from nature. And even in Europe itself, not everybody is rich. Yeah. Other people are poor, and other people are, I can say are trying to afford things for themselves. So through the process, I learned a lot of things, though.
Yeah, like people very often, they say like the grass is greener on the other side. But if we actually just start watering our side of the grass, we can actually make our side of the grass greener, rather than constantly looking at it's never as good as it appears to be. You know, other people's lives, there's always something that's not being shown, that we think, yeah, their life is so easy, it's so great, and you know, things like that. So I think we should just focus on ourselves, and you know, the youth especially, it's too much of negative. Yeah,
we should, but it's like the government of the Africa itself. I know they are really not, if I can say, they are not trying for youth, because all what they think of, even if you see the Gambia right now, is like they are always concentrating on their own issue, building big houses, trying to get luxurious cars, and they are not trying anything for the nation. So this is what is affecting the youth.
Yeah, I know that's very good that you actually brought that up. I mean, not to get very political or anything, but at the end of the day, to be able to move on, you need some support from the government, from the nation itself, like, you know, to get jobs, to earn money, things like that. That's the country as itself. So if you know, your own country is not able to support you, it's very difficult to move forward. You're very right by saying that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And, you know, like we say, we have many ways of, you know, educating ourselves as people. So according to you, what do you think is the best form of education that you would tell the youth of your country, you know, that they should be more inclined to get this type of education so that they understand what's happening in your country?
Well, I think the form of educational things that they should focus on is like skill centers, because there are too much of youths that are unemployed right now, or the unemployment rate is too high. In order to minimize that, I think the thing that they need to do is like to build up skill centers where they can teach boys how to do carpentry, how to do other, you know, how to learn other skills. And when it comes to ladies' side as well, they build more skill centers for ladies to go on this hairdressing and other, you know, makeup, to learn other makeup skills, and even to become chefs, to know how to cook and other issues. Because every day, the Gambian living in diaspora, they're every day trying to invest on hotels. They're every day trying to build other restaurants. So those youths will even try to engage themselves somewhere else. So I think skill center is one of the biggest things that they need to focus on so far.
Absolutely. I totally agree.
Yeah.
Totally agree. All right. So, okay, you shared a lot of things, you know, I mean, so as a community, I'm from the Gambia to understand these kind of things. As we, you know, sometimes, you know, the kind of society we are from, being poor is a struggle, you know. So I just want to know how is it like, you know, for you growing up in a community or an environment that is surrounded by poverty? How did, you know, the society how are you able to manage, you know, to be able to live in that kind of society?
Well, it is so hard. It is so hard. You just need to ignore people and do whatsoever you want to do. Because if you are trying to do anything, they are like, today, Mr. Z is doing that. And tomorrow when they see you doing a different thing, and they're like, today we saw him doing that. So the only thing it is a very, very serious issue though. It's like living within such kind of society. It is a hard thing, bro. Because sometimes, you know, when you go out, or, you know, when you go to school, you live with other people that, you know, they are rich and they come from a very good, you know, background. So sometimes it's like when you mingle with them, you know, you always live with stress. You know, you are like, oh my God, you know, I cannot even afford this for myself. And boy, today I met with Mr. Z. You know, his father brought him up to the school gate, you know, and drop him over there or right over there to come to school. I wake up early in the morning, go to the street to beg for leave. I guess you know leave. Try to wave some other pickups and cars and other private cars, telling them, you know, leave. I want to join school. So it is a very serious thing. When your mates are already, you know, they already wake up, you know, try to take shower, prepare, and wait for their papa to take them school. So it's like we wake up earlier than them, you know, to try to struggle to reach to the road and beg for leave. So living in that society is one of a serious move, bro. Trust me.
Definitely, because it's easy to ignore stuff that you don't know, or not to even be bothered by something that you don't know. But if you're living in a society that is like have a division when it comes to opportunities, it's definitely stressful, because we all want something. We all want something in life. Yeah, as you said, you see your friend who you hang out with all the time, has more opportunities than you do. Even to pay for your school is hard for you. More going to transportation to school, and you see those people, is very easy for them to do. It is definitely going to stress you out. So it's definitely going to be something that but we don't have to despair. We have to believe that life will change. No condition, you said it, no condition is permanent, and then one day all this is going to change, because it changed for people. It changed for people who are in status that you think we all started from somewhere. So yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So do you have any advice for someone who is probably in your shoes right now? This seems like who is in struggle like you, in order to achieve, whatever in life, either education or don't have a job, or, family issues and stuff. Just as a youth, what advice do you have for your fellow youth?
Yeah, the only advice that I have for my fellow youths is, just not to give up. Yeah, anything you're doing, if like, I want to go to school, and it is a problem for me to go to school. I guess the only thing that you need to do, you can try and learn other skills from the local skill centers like this carpentry and other issues. Try to learn a skill in order to develop yourself, or in order, to become a self-employee. And if you believe like you want to go to school, and it's like payment is one of the biggest problems. I see some of my friends that, they become apprentice, weekends, or when they close schools, they have other people that they call, and they're like, bro, after school, I will go, or I will be coming. So it's like when they close from school, try to reach out to other drivers, and try to move with that driver in order to afford for their own schools. So as a man, if you have any belief in yourself that I want to do this thing, never give up as a youth. Try and struggle, tie your belt, tidy, and try to do something that it will help you tomorrow. But don't come and say, my mommy give me this, or my mommy don't give me this, rather. My daddy don't give me this. So I'm going to fold my hand like that, and I will not do it. Mommy and daddy are just trying to help you. And like education to the youths is like, education is something that your mom and dad is trying to help you, because if they take you to school tomorrow, whatsoever they may pay you, if your mom and dad will enjoy from that, that will be the remaining of what you have already used. So the thing is, the youths have to have this in their mind, like, bro, tomorrow I need to be somebody responsible, either being a lady or being a man. Being a man, you need to have a family. You know how the African system is. You need to be the head of the family, and you have to raise everybody. So being a lady nowadays is, if you are not educated, your man don't value you, because when he is bringing everything for you, and he have another woman that she go and work, like the man and that woman try to contribute and do everything in within the family, then you are nowhere to be seen as a value somebody. So the only thing is, nothing become easy in real life. Even the diplomatic, and the master degree holders, if they all explain their issues to you, you might be like, oh my God, I thought, this happened to only me. But on the whole, this is how people struggle, to reach the different level. So what the advice that I have the youths, for the youths rather, is like, they just try to tie up their belts and try to struggle, to become successful in real life. Nothing become easier.
Absolutely, brother. In order to thrive, nothing, like you said, nothing starts with, we all start from somewhere, and any successful person, any successful businessman, any successful educator, or whatever, whatever status you might be in right now, it's not an easy road for them. So I think, for us like youth, we have to be incubators for ourselves. We have to, build ourselves from the jump, because, to train yourself, it only going to help you, because you're going to train yourself to face any challenges in the future. Because this road to success is not an easy road, brother. It's not an easy road. As even, we think, going to the Europe or Americas, is is something that, it's like it's success. Of course, you're gonna achieve a lot of things, in the West, because they are better than us when it comes to that standard, the standard of anything. You're gonna better yourself, but it's hard, brother. It's hard, to reach a certain stage. So we have to try from the jump, like you are doing. That I don't have this opportunity, so this opportunity I have to create for myself. So opportunity, there's just like they said, opportunity to come to people who create it. We have to create that opportunity for ourselves, and then grow with it. But if you don't do that, you definitely cannot do it, or leave, things change, but it's going to be hard for you to be able to, do it. As an organization or as a foundation, this foundation, EPF, we trying to, help people out there, people like you, brilliant people who don't have the opportunities, to achieve your goals. We are trying to do that. We're trying to make sure you get your education, without going through all what you want. So what do you think, we can make a difference in this aspect?
Yeah, through the question that you guys have started asking me, it's like you can make different out of it, because it's like the point that you guys raise, or like the way that you guys are concentrating on the issues, pertaining to with the youth, it will be something that it will really help with the young ones that we are over here and we love to learn, but we don't have the financial facilities in order to get to that point. So I guess this is something that it will really help.
Oh, thank you. We all trying to do our part, and there's so many ways to do that, but we think that to educate a nation, education is powerful. If you are educated, you can do anything in the world. You will understand your environment. You will be more patriotic. You'll be more your mind will be open to a lot of things. So that's why we want to start it from there. Yeah, thank you for that. So thank you so much for coming through, brother. For sharing your valuable inputs. We really appreciate you. Your story is touching, and it's really something that people need to look into. People need to help people like you to achieve your dreams. From the get-go, you saw the world, that you saw us, that you are somebody who is determined, to achieve greatness in this world. And you deserve it. If anybody deserve, to be successful, you deserve it too. And whatever you did, coming up is honorable. Really, really honorable. We definitely appreciate you for doing that, for taking that. And I'm sure, a lot of young people who are watching this, will definitely, be inspired, and do better. Because, Africa, that's how it is, that's how the world is for Africa. So we definitely need to, brace up and then, work hard, and climb towards our success. Every society, they have to work hard to be able to be something that they want to be. So anything that you're doing to be able to, be successful in this world, long as it's legal, brother, it's honorable. Go ahead and do it. There's no shame in that. And then thank you so much for watching and supporting our journey. There are many, many more videos to come. So stay tuned. Don't forget to donate to Educational Passport Foundation. Our goal is to reach out and support people like Bakary. You can visit our website at www.theepfoundation.org and support us by donating to our GoFundMe page. Links are available in the description below. At EPF, we turn dreams into actions, because united we stand.
Thank you. See you next time.
All right.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Ma.
All right. Thank you, Bakary.
The Educational Passport Foundation. We turn dreams into action.